The last runner in Pine Ridge Forest. In the summer of 2021, a strange case began inside Pine Ridge National Forest in Oregon. Pine Ridge was known as one of the most beautiful running and hiking locations in the state. Thousands of people visit it every year to run through the long forest trails that stretched for miles between the tall pine trees. But one morning, something happened that turned the peaceful forest into the center of a chilling investigation. The story started with Mark Holloway, a 29-year-old fitness trainer from Portland. Mark loved long-distance running. Every weekend he drove nearly 2 hours just to run through the Pine Ridge trails. On the morning of July 18th, Mark arrived at the forest parking lot around 6:15 a.m. A security camera later showed him stretching beside his car before starting his run along Trail 6, one of the longest paths in the park. It was a 12-mile trail that looped deep into the forest and eventually returned to the same parking area. Mark had run it many times before. But this time, he never came back. At first, no one noticed anything unusual. But when Mark didn't return home that afternoon, his sister Olivia Holloway reported him missing. Park rangers began searching the forest that evening. They expected to find Mark injured somewhere along the trail. Instead, they found something much stranger. About 4 miles into Trail 6, investigators discovered Mark's fitness watch lying on the ground beside the path. The watch had stopped recording his run at 6:52 a.m. But the strange part was this. The watch showed Mark had suddenly stopped running. Then stood still for almost 3 minutes. After that, the tracking data ended completely. When search teams looked around the area, they noticed something disturbing. Mark's footprints suddenly left the trail and went deeper into the forest. But there was another set of footprints beside his. Someone had been walking with him. The search continued through the night. But there was no sign of Mark. Then the next day, a hiker reported hearing something strange near an old ranger station that had been closed for years. He said he heard a whistle sound echoing through the trees. Almost like someone was signaling. Investigators went to the location. The ranger station was abandoned and partially damaged from storms years earlier. But inside, detectives found something unusual. A map of the forest trails pinned to the wall. Several paths had been marked with red circles, including Trail 6. When police reviewed older park records, they discovered something alarming. Over the last 15 years, 3 other runners had disappeared in Pine Ridge Forest. All of them vanished somewhere near Trail 6. And every disappearance happened in the early morning hours. Just like Mark's. Detectives began interviewing local residents and park workers. That's when they learned about a man known by many hikers as the Morning Runner. Several people claimed they had seen the same man running through the forest before sunrise. But no one knew who he was. No one had ever spoken to him. He simply appeared on the trails. And then disappeared into the woods. When police checked trail cameras from nearby areas, they finally spotted him. A tall man wearing a black running jacket and a cap. He appeared briefly on camera at 6:49 a.m. Just 3 minutes before Mark's watch stopped recording. But when detectives tried to identify him, they found no record of anyone matching his face in the area. And even stranger, the camera footage showed him running toward the forest, not toward the exit. 3 weeks later, a search team discovered something hidden deep in the woods nearly 2 miles away from Trail 6. A small campsite. It looked like someone had been living there for months. Inside the tent were several items belonging to different people. A water bottle. Running shoes. A broken fitness tracker. And a notebook. Inside the notebook were strange handwritten notes. Each page had a date. And the word runner written beside it. The final page had one entry. July 18th. And only one word written beside it. 4. Investigators believe the campsite may have belonged to the mysterious Morning Runner. But the man seen in the camera footage was never identified. And Mark Holloway was never found. Even today, some hikers claim they still see a runner moving quickly through the Pine Ridge trails before sunrise. Always wearing the same black jacket. Always disappearing into the forest before anyone can catch up to him. And no one knows if he's running from something. Or hunting for someone else.